We are live on YouTube.
Welcome, everyone. This is October the 4th. It's our regular meeting. We're being live streamed electronically, and we're going to begin a little late. It's 6:07. So welcome, everybody. And we don't have a very big audience yet tonight, but welcome to you and to anyone who may be watching, and our staff and our council. We are also going to have our first motion. It was moved by Councillor Carroll and seconded by Councillor Jennings that the regular meeting of the council agenda dated October the 4th, 2022 be approved as presented. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And if we can also, I dismissed the first part of it, but if we can now just have a moment of silence, please. Thank you, everyone. And moving on, to all of council, if you have any disclosure of interest, you can declare it now or anytime during the meeting. And we have another motion moved by Councillor Jennings, seconded by Deputy Vandermeer, that the minutes of the regular meeting of council September the 20th, 22 be approved as circulated. All in favor? Those minutes are carried. Thank you. And do we have any business rising from those minutes? Okay, seeing none, then we're going to move on. We have no delegations tonight. And the first report, we have no reports of the municipal officers, but the first report of the committees is the one for the committee of the whole, September the 20th. We have a motion that was moved by Councillor Carroll and seconded by Deputy Vandermeer that the council approve the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of September the 20th, 2022, and approve the recommendations contained within. All in favor? Those are carried. Any business arising from those minutes? Seeing none, moving on. The next is the Montague Recreation Culture Committee meeting, and we have a motion moved by Deputy Vandermeer, seconded by Councillor Carroll, that council approve the minutes of the Montague Recreation Culture Committee meeting of August the 23rd, 2022, and approve the recommendations contained within. All in favor? Carried. Any business rising from those minutes? Yes, Councillor Carroll.
I just want to say real quick, I know Val did a quick chat about when she went to the Harvest Festival there, and it was a big success. I know you were there too, Reeve, but they had the Montague history books and the recipe books, and they were selling them and giving them away, and she collected some funds, which is kind of cool, and also like a lot of interest too as well. So I think it was really neat that Val did that, and it was the Harvest Festival doing the kind of representing Montague and the rec group, and it was a pretty cool success for that. So that's in these minutes. We can talk about that Mighty Machines one maybe in the next time that that's in that event. So
yeah, and just a little bit of a side comment there is I was kind of speaking about the same thing at the county council last week, and I was complimenting the Highlands on what they had done, because they really did a good job of being the featured municipality, and they had a lot of their organizations, and they were focusing on their culture, their music, their history, and the local newspaper was there, and it was really, they did a really good job. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is that eventually Montague's turn is going to come up again, and any groups, any organizations, people, fire department, all of our different groups can be represented there. So it really was a success this year, and we had the most vendors we ever had, and it was really, you're right, it was so great to see our recreation committee there, because it wasn't just selling the books and they were having fun.
they were, yeah.
And people were coming up talking to them about Montague, so it was really, that was great. Okay, anything else? So are you wishing to because were you wishing to wait till the next meeting to talk about the last due?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not in those minutes, but I mean, obviously that was a massive success, and we have to thank obviously everybody that was involved in that, staff, the committee did a great job doing it too as well. The fire department was humongously helpful with what they did too as well. And I mean, they had their boot drive too as well, which is a massive success for them on that same day too as well. So I mean, like, we could just talk about all the great things that happened with that event, because it was just such a positive thing for the township. I know Ali was saying that she heard such positive comments of people leaving about how great it was, and they were so thankful and just amazing. And a lot of people that had never been into the airport before didn't even know that was there, which I think is just like another sort of showcasing something that's in our township, which is, you know, people don't realize it's always there. So I mean, really, like, kudos. It was another awesome, really amazing thing that was done. So,
And I attended a meeting at an airport meeting this morning at 10 o'clock. And before I could say a word, the club was saying all of the same things that you're saying. So it was, everybody was feeling good about it.
yeah, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, on that note with the airport, I think what really thrilled a lot of people was to watch them pull the gliders up. The kids had never seen that done before, and that, you know, they pull them up and all of a sudden they let them go and away, go off on his own.
And the club didn't actually realize till very recently that, in fact, they were going to be able to start that again on the same day. So it was just coincidentally positive.
And at the end of the day, the most exciting highlight of the whole day was when Byron climbed up into the fire truck and got his picture taken with a fire helmet on, driving the fire truck. He was so happy. Tickled pink. Just on a little bit of a personal note. Val, I told Val, she couldn't believe it. She said, he did what? He just had chemo treatments on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I walked him back to his car and he was doing just fine.
All right, well, I guess we were on our way to breaking a record with time, but because there's so many positive things to talk about, we're probably not going to break our record tonight. So we'll move on to the next issue here. We have no petitions tonight, but we do have some bylaws. And the first one was moved by Councillor Carroll, second by Councillor Jennings. That bylaw 3936/2022 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of a development agreement with Robert Ronald Michaelis, the owner of lands legally described as part of Lot 20, Concession 3, Township of Montague, County of Lanark, designated as parts 3, 4, and 5 on Plan 27R 11911 or 18. Be read a first, second, and third time and passed, signed and sealed this 4th day of October 2022. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And the next bylaw was moved by Councillor Jennings and second by Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. That bylaw 3937/2022 being a bylaw to authorize the registration of a site plan agreement with Gary Joseph Chatham and Valerie Joan Chatham, the owners of property described as part of Lot 30, Concession 1, Township of Montague, County of Lanark, being Part 7 on 27R 9591. Be read a first, second, and third time and passed, signed and sealed this 4th day of October 2022. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And we have no, I guess the first correspondence item, we have no correspondence item, but one is being moved to action, I think. And that's on the Andersonville Bridge and on the Jewel Engineering. So would you like to speak to that?
Sure. So this is notice from Jewel Engineering. I believe actually that the ratepayers from that area received this notice back in April. We're just receiving it now, that this is happening with the Andrewsville Bridge. I just wanted it to come forward this evening, if there's any discussion from council or if they want staff to bring forward anything in relation to this.
So, yeah, I'll go to.
I was just wondering, with reference to the counties, Lanark and Leeds Grenville, what information they have been receiving up till now? Has that been coming to us, or is This is the first we've received information.
This is the first that we've received information on it. Leeds and Grenville, I believe, are the ones that have taken on the engineering in conjunction with the county of Lanark. But this is the first we've been hearing from it, although I was speaking to some of the landowners and they said they received notice back in April. So it seems like maybe it's a little delayed to us. I'm not sure.
Can I ask the follow-up though? But is this the first that it's just now starting to come back again from years ago? This is the first communication? Sort of.
Oh, in relation to the previous issue with the bridge whenever the transport truck hit it? Yeah, so I believe that this is actually because the bridge is reduced down to, is it 5 ton? And so now they're doing studies on what's going to happen to the bridge in the future. Is it going to be kept? How much money would it be to keep it? Is it going to be kept to traffic or just pedestrian? Or is it going to be completely decommissioned? I think is what this is for. So this is a new study. Yeah.
So, sorry.
So I think Jeff and then Roz.
Yeah, so is there a scope that this is very generic, right? So is there a scope that they're going by that? Because I mean, like, it's like when even if they're keeping it open, is it like, are they gonna give options of like what a one-way is or a two-way or all that kind of stuff? Or do you think it's
Chair through. I believe there's going to be options, but there is information on Lanark County website and Leeds and
there
Grenville
is more of that?
website. So I
Okay.
believe it's probably gone to the counties
Yeah, yeah.
themselves. It's just, we're just getting it
We're
now.
getting it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two counties have agreed to engineer this, instigate this study, okay? And I think the biggest part of the study was to see the structure underneath, the steel girding and so forth. Is it repairable? Is it savable? Whatever, can we sandblast it and repaint it and that kind of stuff? It's been a bone of contention for years and years.
Mhm.
And if people want it left open, no two ways about it, and I don't blame them because it's a long ways around.
Emergency services as well.
The disappointing thing, and I've mentioned this at county council, is that Parks Canada takes no ownership in it. None whatsoever.
So the way, I think somewhere, Ali, did I not read somewhere that?
I have
possibility-
I have
so-
a draft one
Yeah, well,
done for you
I read
guys.
that draft one and I'd like it to come through council here and then maybe I'll speak to it because you don't want to get me going too much on this grid business because Ali has drafted this motion here. It was moved by, well, I'll have to change that, but I'll change it to Oh, no, you've already done it. So you can't do moving seconds. Thanks. So moved by Councillor Carroll, seconded by Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, that council provide direction to the Reeve and Deputy Reeve to provide notice to the County of Lanark that the Township of Montague is in support of keeping the Andersonville Bridge open to traffic and not decommissioning the bridge. So I think I'd like to open up. If any of you have any comments about this motion, and I'd like to speak to it also, but anybody have any comments about this particular motion? Because the other is one issue. That's what the two counties agreed to do and is doing and have to do.
Yep.
So that's a separate issue, but this is another motion. So this is going to be a little proactive, I guess. But anyways, does anybody have any comments about this?
I support it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I think it's good that we do support it. At least lets the county know
Yeah.
that we have a huge vested interest in this bridge as a neighboring township and a responsibility to our residents.
So if we pass this motion, I would like to be able to add, maybe if we could do this, I just thought about this now, that if we could send this motion to both the municipality of of Merrickville Wolford and to the county of Leeds Granville.
Can we not send that to, it'd be nice to get support from
And-
all the municipalities, like the lower tier municipalities too as well.
Like, I really think it's a good idea. I totally agree with you. I would like to see this sent to every municipality in Lanark County and Leeds Granville, because all of those mayors and reeves and so on, they're all going to be sitting at their county councils. And furthermore, it also should be sent to both MPs and both MPPs.
Mhm.
They may as well all hear it, because I won't be here, but it's, you know, there's a few things. The government's always talking about transit systems and putting funding into transit systems and rapid transit systems and so on. And this is our transit system from here to the other side, to the other county. It's ours and they can't take it away. And the reason why they try to take it away is because we didn't maintain it in the first place. And if you drive over there, you'll see the railings are still rusted, bent plumbing poles that they're using for railings. And I use the word disgusting or disgraceful or whatever at the county, and I'll use it again here because it should never have happened. And thanks. And the other thing is that it's not just an important part of our transit system, but it's also historically very important. So that's just as important. It's one of the only bridges similar to that left in Ontario, maybe Canada. And thirdly, just so that everybody knows this, a long time ago, when I think it was shortly after I got on council, whoever was the head of Parks Canada at the time, and this is in black and white, and the Friends of the Andrewsville Bridge has this in writing. It came from the top person in Parks Canada who said that the vantage point from that bridge was the best between Ottawa and Kingston on the Rideau Canal, the best. There was no place more picturesque or more authentic and whatever. So there's so many reasons why Montague and Merrickville-Wolford has to fight really hard, because I sense that the counties would just as soon decommission it. So as far as I'm concerned, if they can't repair it, then it shouldn't be decommissioned. We should have a new bridge. And that's what this motion is for. And I leave it to everybody that'll be coming to this council after me, whoever, to fight long and hard, because the friends of the Andrewsville Bridge fought very hard over this project, and basically they won. And if they hadn't, we wouldn't have a bridge today. We wouldn't. It would be closed. And even last week, I heard there was problems because there was something happening to the Burt's Rapids Bridge, and so it was really causing a lot more trouble, like a lot more on the other bridge. And as it stands right now, that bridge is closed in the winter anyways. And I could kind of go along with the reasons why at the time, because why they decided to close it during the winter. And it's because they were trying to prolong the life of it by not having to put salt on it during the winter. But I mean, you know, it's deteriorated quite a bit anyway. So, and the underpinning, as you say, causes it has declined, I guess. And I remember a few years ago, I sat with Parks Canada people, and both county levels, the two on the county and maybe the mayor of Merrickville. And basically what came out of it was they wanted to take, as you said, no ownership whatsoever. And I kind of disagree with that too. So I think Parks Canada has to become a player, because they go across that bridge to the other side. They use both sides all the time. And if the bridge wasn't there, they'd be going all the way up or down and wasting taxpayers' dollars. So anyways, that's how I stand. Sorry about the rant.
I understand real quick a bit, like about the transportation side of it. That's one of my biggest bone of contentions, of the amount of money that is spent, on the transit system in Ottawa.
Mhm.
I say, okay, that's nice. And I know lots of people that, unfortunately don't use it. But where is that money that comes to, like, we shouldn't be left out in the dark either. So I mean, that money, that amount of money that's spent on that transit system, where's sort of the share that comes out to us too as well, right?
And they will base their arguments, I feel, because that's what many people on both county councils said at the time, at least many of them. The fact that it's got a slow traffic count. And I don't feel that people in that area should be penalized because it's a slow traffic count. It's their bridge, it's their road. and that's why, small little municipalities in the northern isolated areas of Ontario gets left, they fall through the cracks sometimes because there's not many people living there. So they use the same argument here. So good luck in the future, whoever's sitting there. I'll be on the sidelines cheering. Anyways, this motion was moved by Councillor Carroll and seconded by Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, that council provide direction to the Reeve and Deputy Reeve to provide notice to the County of Lanark and the County of Leeds Grenville and to all lower tier municipalities in Lanark County and Leeds Grenville County, along with the local MP and MPP, that the Township of Montague is in support of keeping the Anderson Bridge open to traffic and not decommissioning the bridge. All in favor? Thanks. That's carried. Thanks, Ali, for helping us with this. It's great. And thanks for having the vision to even bring this forward and put it on the table because it's important for Montague's. Okay, so we're moving on to the next issue there. That's, I guess that's it. And we have a motion moved by Deputy Reeve Vandermeer and seconded by Councillor Carroll that bylaw 3938/2022 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its regular meeting held on October the 4th, 2022, be read a first, second, and third time and passed, signed, and sealed this 4th day of October 2022. All in favor? Okay, and that's carried. I guess we need a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I didn't get it one.
Yeah, so moved by Councillor Jennings and seconded by Councillor Carroll that this meeting do now adjourn at 6:28.
Yep.
All in favor? Okay, and that's carried.
It means if not shorter, we're gonna cut it.
We're just going to go straight into our committee meeting, I believe, everyone. Just take a minute to change over. So welcome, everyone. This is our committee, the whole meeting, October the 4th. It's also being live streamed electronically.
Just wait. On the council meeting, you didn't ask for questions from the public.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Back up here.
Sorry. So we did have a question from the public. Will the Township of Montague keep track of the environmental study currently being done by Jewel Engineering? And when information is received about the planned public information session that was promised, will the township advise the public accordingly? Through you, Chair, yes. So any information that we receive, we'll be following up with, we'll be keeping in contact with Lanark County in relation to this, and we will post any information that we have accordingly and put it out in our messenger, usually some items like that. So we will be posting accordingly.
Question,
Yes.
is there a way on our website that the specific area could be set as well for any postings on the Entersville Bridge? So it's easy for them to see?
So through you, Chair.
Yeah.
Great idea. And we can also put the Lanark County link then for their information. Yeah.
Good, perfect.
Good. Any other questions? Sorry about that. Seeing, does Grace have any? Did Grace have any?
None from the public.
Oh, okay, thanks, Grace.
Amazing, now I can see.
Okay, so we're going to go right into our committee of the whole meeting. This is October the 4th, and it's also being live streamed electronically. And so this meeting is now open, and I'll remind council again that if you have any disclosure of interest, you can declare it now or anytime during the meeting. And we don't have any delegations tonight. And we're going straight into the first report of the municipal officers, and that's going to be yours, Steve, on the capital projects update. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Rafe. So it's this brief report before you tonight, council, on our two major capital projects. They are both completed now, so we're just giving you the financials from both these projects. Both projects are completed on time and well under budget, which was good, and the quality of the workmanship was also superior. It was very fantastic on all levels. And on the McLaughlin Road project, the biggest savings they come from public works staff completing a large portion of the gravel the year before. I included those financials on the costs there as well, but we got substantial savings on the granular A, which we would have had to have done in the contract by that. And then also there was on the asphalt item, we were under the budget on that as well. So those are the two big players on that, but that project looks wonderful and we're very pleased with it. And then same with the Richardson Road Bridge project. It came in 46,000 under budget with the actuals, and I included a couple pictures of before and after, and I think it's pretty remarkable the work that was done there. It is a very nice piece of, I guess, it'll be part of Montague now for a long time, but 100 years probably before we do anything else there, but it's a nice sight to see there. So if anybody's driving by that area, have a look at it. And then that's kind of, there's some financial applications which are attached as well. And if there's any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Just a comment there about what you said with the culvert there, Steve. The beauty of it is, I was looking at the pictures at home, and the beauty of it is when you see what it looked like from the ends, from the north and the south, and you see that concrete. I mean, that's an example of doing things the right way. And I think, you know, with your direction and, you know, how you've helped us to be able to, for that to be done in Montague, I think we all should be pretty proud of it. And that's the way to do it. And the same as you said, and again, we were we were fighting a little bit and discussing and debating with our neighbors on how to do this. But you know, you put the right way forward in the beginning, and that's what happened. And you can't help but drive on that now and see the huge difference. So it's amazing what you've done. Thank you. Claus?
Yeah, thanks, Reed. Hats off to you, Steve. Excellent job. I've been down there, driving these roads quite a bit, and these other roads too, in the last couple of weeks. And I know we debated massively with this square looking thing here and so forth. You know, should we do it that way? Should we go with the round and so forth? I mean, there's no comparison. Just excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Anything else on this? Okay, so we do have a motion on this, but I'm going to back up for a minute because I forgot to read the motion to approve the agenda first. So we're going to do that one first. So this one was moved by Councillor Carroll and seconded by Councillor Jennings. That the committee of the whole agenda dated October the 4th, 2022 be approved. Thank you. And so there were no changes anyways. They got lucky. Okay, so then the next one is moved by Councillor Jennings and seconded by Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, that council received the capital projects update report as information. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. And the next one also is yours, Steve.
Yeah, so this as well as for information, just on an update on public works staffing. So we did have Christopher Foote, he resigned, to return back to the position, which he enjoyed a lot. And he wanted to thank all of Montague for his time here. But we actually went with an internal posting as per our procurement, and we were lucky enough, we got two very well-qualified candidates, and they both did extremely well. And we were very pleased with both of them for applying and thank them for that. And we have selected Jordan Hamill, who's on the fire department here, as a successful candidate. So he's been on the fire department here for a very long time. He's very close by here, a couple kilometers from the municipal office. So staff and their clerk manager were all thrilled to have an internal competition like that and keep it all in Montague.
Any questions?
Just,
Yes,
and just an information question. When you say internal, so that means that any of the staff, whether the fire department or wherever, that's what you're referring to.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, now it's good. Where was Steve Hamill working before, or Jordan Hamill, sorry.
So he came to us from Real Lake St. John.
Good.
okay, thanks then, yes,
No, I'll have a question for afterwards for them.
okay. All
Thanks,
right,
council.
so thank you, Steve. This motion was moved by Councillor Carroll and seconded by Deputy Vandermeer that council accept the public works staffing report as information. All in favor? Last carried. Thank you. And the next one is yours, Ali, on the citizen appointment members.
Yes, thank you, Chair. So this is a report in relation to our citizen members who are appointed by council. So we have a bylaw back from 2015 that established the remuneration expenses for council and the local boards. In that bylaw and policy, it does provide notice that an annual rate shall be adjusted by the same percentage as approved for full-time municipal staff, rounded to the nearest $5. So based on the policy, you'll see the numbers below, what was received by CPI from to staff, and then or on the grid. And then committee of adjustment, property standards, fence viewers, livestock valuers, and where they should be sitting based on a rounded to the nearest $5. If we retroactively pay members based on the adjustments, it would be about $460 to get us up to 2022. It's minimal. And just to note that a lot of the board members didn't realize that they got mileage, and it is included in the policy as well. And this year in 2022, it's 55 cents a kilometer. So it's just kind of a housekeeping cleanup item.
Councillor Jennings.
So it says CPI, so you're not referring to what actually was the percentage that went through?
The percentage that went on to the grids, not, I shouldn't have said CPI, it should have been what was received for the wage grid change for staff. So in 2022, it went to 4.9 on the grid. Staff got 2 though, right?
Okay, so we're not doing the 2 the same as staff got, because we didn't.
I know, it's very confusing because it doesn't specifically say grid or COLA.
Because it said annual adjusted same percentage as approved for full-time. So if we gave it 2, it would only be 2, not 4.9.
Yeah, so, and that's fine, I can do the adjustments on that. It's just that the grid went 4.9, staff got 2, so I was kind of confused on which one we were supposed to use for that.
Because we didn't approve the 4.9, we definitely said 2.
But the grid went 4.9, right?
Wasn't supposed to that I'm aware of.
The grid went 4.9.
Okay.
So if it's 2, I have no issues changing, because that's this year anyway, so that's not the 460 retro. So I can ensure that it's just the 2 for 2022. It's more so that I want to get the last previous years fixed up and move forward for everybody. But absolutely, if it's supposed to be 2, I can do 2.
Any other questions on the, yes?
Thanks, Reed. Ali, so this is an annual fee that they receive then?
Yeah, so I'll just use livestock valuers, for example, because they tend to be some of our busier ones.
Yeah.
So every time they go out, right now they're getting still just the $70. Whereas if we were going with those incremental increases each year, they would be at $75 or $80, depending if we do the 2% or 4.9.
Okay, so the livestock viewers, every time they go out, the fence viewers, the same thing?
Yeah,
Property standards, the same thing?
that's right.
Community adjustments? same
Every
thing?
meeting that we have, yep.
Every time they have a
And
meeting?
library is per annum, so
Per
that's just
annum.
one time per year.
Okay.
Livestock valuers are a little different than the rest because we do get an administrative feedback from OMAFRA
Right.
for the livestock valuers.
Yeah. Okay. So these are per time, the rest are per year.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The only thing I need clarified this evening, are we doing 2% then on the 2022?
That's what we had agreed to.
Okay, so I will just adjust those 2%. And if council's okay with that, that's what I'll pay them based off the 2% instead of 4.9.
That's where you.
Okay, thanks. Anything else? Okay, we have a motion here moved by Deputy Vandermeer and seconded by Councillor Carroll that council authorizes the clerk to reimburse the appropriate committee members for the incorrect remuneration paid in the 2019, 20, and 21 years, and that the remuneration presented this date for 2022 be paid to the appointed members.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna change that.
So that now reads, and that the remuneration adjusted this date for 2022 be paid to the appointed members. All in favor? Okay, and that's carried. Thank you, Ali. And the next one is also yours on the vaccination policy.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, this is in 2021, council did adopt, I think was similar to other municipalities, a COVID-19 vaccination policy. Based on the most recent federal government, in June 2022, they started to lift some of their mandates for federal public servants. And as of October 1st, now to come across the borders, you no longer include vaccination, also arrive can, but and testing and quarantining isolation requirements have all ended. So we're just recommending to rescind the bylaw at this time, unless obviously things change. And that's it.
Yes, Councillor Jennings.
I had a discussion with Ali just so that she's aware that I won't be supporting the recommendation. Under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, an employer must take every precaution reasonable to ensure the safety of its workers. And by removing this, that is then in turn removing the protection for workers. So I understand why it's coming forward, et cetera. It's just my health and safety side is saying, no, it's not the right thing to be doing because we still have a responsibility to our workers. So the vaccination status is still there, being highly recommended. Boosters are still being highly recommended by the health unit, which is what we're under. So I said, until they actually start saying, you don't need boosters, you don't need a vaccination, which they're not saying, I think that the policy should remain in place.
Yes,
So just to ask a question about it does, because I agree, I mean, the recommendations are still there. But it's not in turn causing health and safety to the other employees that are in the building. So I guess on a lower side. So where's the threshold, I guess, lie as far as I mean, there's always a risk of everything that we do. So I guess where's the threshold, I guess, lie as far as that goes?
I just look at it from the side that it's the Ministry of Labor that is saying, as an employer, we are supposed to take every precaution necessary. And that's what I look at. I'm all about ensuring liability, things like that. And that is one of the ones. I mean, I understand, like, I mean, we're all back out in the open, things are all happening. I'm just taking that side that says, under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, as an employer, we are supposed to do, and that's what I'm looking at. So as I said, I understand why it's coming forward. It's just that side of me is saying, I have to still follow what the Occupational Health and Safety Act says.
Thank you for expanding on it. I respect that side too as well. So
No,
thank
and
you.
that's it.
That's good. Yeah, thank you.
yes,
Councillor Jennings, I don't want to repeat, but I do agree. It's there. The Health and Safety Act is there and so forth. And COVID really hasn't gone away. I mean, I've heard reports today of 3 people that have come down with COVID. And so, in fact, my wife tested before letting me go out the door because one of our employees who comes on a very irregular basis to do certain things has tested positive for COVID. So she said, before you go out the door. So I think it should be, the policy should be left where it is.
okay. This motion was moved by Councillor Carroll and seconded by Deputy Reeve. Sorry, was there anything else?
No. Yeah, I think we're in a bit of a, I don't know where you're.
I know, well, I've got, I mean, I could make some comments too, but I know how I'm going to vote if I have to break a tie.
Well, the problem is there's only 4 of us today.
Exactly.
So, okay. What happens? Okay, well, let's continue.
I guess I'll say how I feel about it. But I don't, I don't usually vote unless I have to break a tie. But I 100% agree with what Councillor Jennings happens to be saying, because I am the county rep and I sit with the health unit. So I totally see where you're coming from, but I guess also the way that I think about it is that, we still have to do everything we can possibly do for our staff for safety, for health and safety. And I know where the conversations are still at the health unit. And I just had a meeting like this week. And so, and I had an auction sale, as most of you know, on Saturday, and I've heard of 2 people that came down with COVID who were there. So anyways, I guess this isn't something that is cut in stone forever. It's something that can be reviewed on an ongoing basis, whether it's passed or not. So,
Yeah.
Yes, Councillor.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe most municipalities are rescinding this side of it too as well. And the other side too as well, this is a staff recommendation. So I'm assuming this came up as part of the staff discussion too as well of their comfort levels of saying that their comfort with rescinding this policy too as well. So I think there's also a side of it that we're listening to that side too as well. If we're seeing it's being done in other municipalities, I think we brought it in because of the overall pressure of the other municipalities and everybody else kind of doing it. I know for myself, I was a little bit reluctant of bringing it in. So now to go to this side, and if the staff are okay with it, and their health and safety board has had that discussion, correct me if I'm wrong, if they've had that discussion or not, and they're okay with it. I'm on that side too as well. So, but I think we're going to convince anybody, so I guess we can have a vote. And
So again, whether this is passed or not right now, what all precautions would remain in then?
So I
Are you
think,
saying that every precaution that we had would still be here?
vaccination.
No,
Just
so-
vaccination?
so if I may, so I think it's the biggest thing that the vaccination policy was put in place in 2021. There's nothing about booster on there. So anybody who got that initial shot or second shot, we don't have to get the boosters in accordance with that. Not only that, we're not asking for the people who come and sit here for their vaccination policy when they come in, or at the rec committees, or at the big functions that we have. Us as staff know each other fairly well, and we take precautions anyways with sanitizers. And if we're going into somebody's house, we mask still. There's certain things that we already do, and I think it's going to honestly be a habit probably for the rest of our lives because of what we've been through, or it's going to be for a long time. So with that, staff has sat down. It's just like whenever staff sat down to say, yes, we feel comfortable meeting in person again with council and being in close proximity with people, that we've gotten to the point where as staff, we feel comfortable with removing the vaccination, or, we don't mandate people to get the flu shot or to go get tested for HIV and AIDS and all those type of things, which we could do as well. So I think that that's just where we're at, is that we are at that stage where we're comfortable removing that. But ultimately it's a council decision, because as Councillor Jennings said, it is your responsibility to look after us as well.
Yeah. So this motion, well, I'll read it the second time, but this motion is really saying to rescind the bylaw, to adopt a COVID-19 vaccination policy.
That's right.
Which means that it'll continue.
No, we're rescinding the bylaw that was a bylaw to adopt a vaccination policy.
So we don't need to have vaccination in order to be employed with us.
That's what this is asking for. But
Yes.
what I think what the Reeve was questioning was, if this is defeated, it doesn't mean that you can't bring it back at a later stage. So
Oh,
for example,
absolutely.
if the health unit
Yes.
a month from now comes back and says they are removing the recommendation of vaccinations, then it could come back again, and the policy then could be discussed.
Yes.
Yeah, so it could still come back later.
But
Yes.
But by taking this away, that means that if somebody applies to us that does not have their vaccination, but they're a quality candidate, we could hire them. Right now, if we keep this in place, and if somebody were to apply to us and they don't have the vaccination, we would not be able to hire them.
That's correct.
So, I mean, I would not want to turn away a good candidate where we are from now, because we're not in 2021 anymore. That's my thoughts. I mean, I think we need to look at that and say, let's not turn away a quality candidate because of that status.
And if I just may on that, I think that in similar fashion, our contractors who do our work out in Public Works with Public Works, we also don't ask them for their vaccine notification.
See, we did. That was
We
great.
haven't, so it's, I guess for me, and I think that's the thing for us is that we're saying, you know, we can rescind it. And if things progress in a worse manner, we can always bring it back in as well, and address those needs if needed, but
Yes.
A little confusing. I mean, I really respect what Councilor Carroll said, and I'm really torn between which way to go here, because I mean, we've done well, correct, Ally?
pardon,
We've done well.
very well, yep,
As far as that goes. Most of our people have got vaccinated.
yes,
I think all of them, haven't they?
yes, it was a policy.
Okay, so they're all been vaccinated, to start. So they're all in good shape, let's say.
As
Maybe
good a
not-
shape as we can be in,
Yeah,
eating Burger
no-
King.
no booster. Yeah.
I don't know. I have not asked people about boosters or those type of things because that's not in the policy for us to follow up on. So that's people's personal decision at this point, just like a flu shot. So I can't speak to that, nor would I speak to that in open session.
I mean, because my wife is a nurse, I'm boosted up to the yin yang, you know, and that, and for other reasons, because of her situation. And with arthritis, very low immune systems. I don't know, what Councilor Carroll was just saying is that I'd hate to lose an extra employee or an existing employee because we've made them, forced them to keep this in place. Obviously, the staff has done some serious thinking about this. Else they wouldn't have brought this forward. This comes from the Health and Safety Committee.
That's right. So our Health and Safety Committee discussed it. We're willing, again, we're a small workplace, like
Yeah.
there's not a lot of us. So we know each other fairly well in that sense, and we're just requesting that it be removed at this time.
I think it's a good request. You know, I'm sure, and as you said, if anything happens, that it gets bad again, and certainly we'll know through Reeve Dobson, I'm sure he'll let us know, you know, we're in bad shape again, or we'll find out through the county somehow.
I won't be letting you know because I won't be there.
No, I
I'm
know.
finished with the health unit.
I'm sure you'll be in touch with the health unit.
But us as staff also keep an eye on this and what's going
Yeah,
on
and
and
what's
those
going
type of
on out there.
things, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's still in the forefront of the news all the time, so.
And
Okay.
I think that whatever decision we make here, the decision, as I said, the decision can be made, can be changed 2 months from now or 1
Yeah.
month from now by another council,
Yeah.
if needed.
So, I mean, we keep a close eye on it, and I trust the staff will, very much, so. Okay,
So it was moved by Councillor Carroll and seconded by Deputy Reeve Vandermeer that council rescind the bylaw 3864/2021 being a bylaw to adopt a COVID-19 vaccination policy. All in favor?
No, recorded vote.
No, so, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Just say
so recorded vote?
Can you read the Bible? Can you read that again?
Yes.
Rescind, okay, I didn't hear rescind, that's why.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
council rescind the bylaw being a bylaw to adopt a COVID-19 vaccination policy.
which means we're moving it.
You want me to read it?
No.
Okay.
don't need to.
So she asked for a recorded. vote.
Yeah, so you, I think usually the clerk goes around.
That's fine, okay.
Yeah.
Counselor Carroll
Yes,
or Counselor Jennings,
Against.
Deputy Vandermeer,
In favor.
and Reeve Dobson.
Against. Okay.
It's defeated.
So it's at the end, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, we have no reports of committees, no petitions, motions, notice of motions, and no unfinished and other business. And I'll ask if we have any questions from the public. And
I do not.
Grace?
None from the public on our end.
Okay, thank you. So there is no other business and no unfinished business. So we have a motion moved by Councillor Jennings and seconded by Deputy Vandermeer that this committee of the whole meeting, October the 4th, 2022, now be adjourned at 6:56 PM. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. So this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.